Hey. Welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Freeman, and I love doing this podcast because I just love getting into people's stories and just how they inspire the people around them. And I think this is so important because sometimes we all forget like who we are and all the awesome things we've done because we live with ourselves day in and day out. So life seems just totally normal to us. It's just like, oh, this is the way I am. So and today is no exception. Like I have two just phenomenal guests, and when we get into their stories, you're going to go, wow, this is so cool. But I urge you not to only go, wow, this is so cool. Please do that, but also I urge you to think of the parts of your story that you might have forgotten that are cool and to appreciate yourself a little more through that. So without further ado, I'm not going there. Without further ado, let's try that again. Okay, see ya in a sec.
Today's guest, Sergio Gutierrez and Peyton Moon.
So, hey, welcome back. Let me tell you a little bit more about these amazing people. Sergio Gutierrez has used his performing arts career to heavily influence his practice of painting and creating a wide range of pieces in the styles of abstraction, concept, conceptual art, new realism, and photorealism. Check this out. A self-taught artist. Just amazing. And he's so good. He picked up a brush and check this out. Early 2011. Like a little over 10 years. Or exactly 10 years ago. Sergio is painting with the striking contrast, colorful patterns, and exuberantly painted imagery conveys a sense of joy and generosity of spirit. Peyton Moon is a graphic artist and an athlete. She's calm and collected, a perfect balance to Sergio's outgoing energy. Where she loves scary movies, Sergio doesn't even watch TV. They are happily engaged, and together they represent a perfect yin and yang of creative passion and call the big, beautiful city of San Diego home. Please help me welcome Sergio and Peyton. Yay! Oh, and then I should actually get them on here.
There we are.
Hey, well, welcome.
Thank you. What a great introduction.
Sweet, you both are amazing people, so it makes it easy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Takes one to know one, Jason.
That's right.
Hey, thanks. First, I'm struck by the idea of meetings. We're all having this conversation because we we met each other, which I suppose is a very obvious statement, but
Right.
but also meetings are interesting. So first of all, Sergio, will you tell tell us how you and I met?
Oh, well, you and I met at the Secret Knock. I believe it was 2018. I don't know. Do you remember what year it was?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds right. Yeah, it was 2018, and we have a mutual friend, David Corbin, whom got me into, he got me into the Secret Knock, and I just remember meeting you. I think it was on one of our breaks or something, and you were telling a story, and you were talking about courage, and it was just fascinating to me, the things you were saying, and you just embody that word by what you do, right? Having a speech impediment but being a speaker. I mean, that's so courageous that nobody would ever attempt that but you, right? So it was really cool. So you embodied that. I really love people who just walk the walk, talk the talk.
Tell you just for a sec about my impression of that meeting. I just remember being out in front of the where the meeting was held, and then suddenly this guy walks up with this larger in life artist energy, but at the same time so kind. It's a great combination, and so that's what I remember.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think I speak for both of us when I say that, the Secret Knock just attracts so many beautiful souls who are there to help one another, help the world, who are, have all these aspirations and dreams to do all that. And it's easy to kind of be yourself and to kind of let your energy shine without, people judging you in any way. It's like we're all just being ourselves and helping one another. So
Yeah,
really
yeah, Secret Knock is amazing.
Yeah.
And that was fun to recollect on that, but I mean, as a curious person, I'm far more curious about how did you two originally meet?
You want to take the reins on this one?
Well, we both kind of like to jump in and tell parts of the story, but we originally met through a mutual friend. They've been friends since like 13 years old or something?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, so they've grown up together, known each other. And she actually started working for the company that I worked at. And her and I grew very close. And she always told me about this very outgoing artist friend that she had, who's very successful and nice and just a great guy that she grew up with her whole life. And so I was very interested, but he had a girlfriend at the time. And so, of course, nobody pursued anything, but we did meet on a few occasions.
Mm-hmm.
Then, yeah, you ended up getting out of that relationship probably about a year or so after I met him, and just things kind of naturally fell into place through there. Actually, I wouldn't say naturally.
Yeah, well, I mean, y'all would like come to the gigs and stuff, and so I got to know Peyton just very naturally as like just a friend of a friend, a patron, someone who would after work oftentimes go have a dinner at Cafe 21 downtown where I was playing. Her office was near, and so it was really cool that we just we didn't meet on Tinder or anything like that. Not that that's anything wrong, but we got to do a lot of FaceTime before ever going out on any sort of date. So, and yeah, that's basically how we met. I mean, I think our first date was in August of 2019.
Yep, August 9th, 2019.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Hey, I better remember that.
Yeah, I would take notes on that day.
Yeah. Take note. I better tattoo it on my wrist or something so I can always It's always here.
So how did you two like? I mean, so there's a point where you move from friendships to the first date. How did that go?
It went really well. I mean, so we're still trying to figure out what our first date was. Was it when we went to Seaport or the concert?
No, it was the concert. It was the August 9th.
Well, I'll tell you one of the moments I started to fall in love, and I love to tell this quick story, but we went to a concert in Del Mar, and it was a tribute band called Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is a brilliant name in itself, right? And so we were enjoying the concert, just we had a couple beers together, and after the show, they were selling not hot dogs, they were
like the foot long Polish.
Oh, Polish sausage, like the big,
Wow.
big hot dog looking things, right? And so I remember I ordered a couple and gave her one, and we sat down and ate those, and I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna grab another one. And jokingly, I was like, do you want another one? Thinking she was going to say no. I mean, she's, she goes, mm-hmm. And so she ate 2 huge Polish sausages alongside me. And I was like, wow, that girl's amazing.
That's awesome.
She can eat, Yeah. So.
Yeah.
No, but from there, I mean, it's just like anything else.
He started calling me his girlfriend.
Out of the blue,
Where's my girlfriend at, Maris? Where's my girlfriend at? So that's how it naturally fell into place. Yeah,
it was good stuff. And by the way, just probably 2 months into dating, she asked me, she says, hey, we go to, my parents have a timeshare in Cancun. Would you like to go? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Some people say it's too soon, but she's such a cool woman, and I'm sure her parents were amazing. And that was another huge step, is meeting the parents in Cancun in a different country.
Brave.
Wow.
And it was Thanksgiving Day 2019. And
so meeting the parents, different country, holiday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. And see, again, some people say, oh, that's too soon. But, we don't really live life with that mindset, right? We just, it felt right. She's a wonderful woman. All good. Let's go. Let's have an adventure. And I just remember stepping in to the hotel room, and her mom gave me the biggest hug ever. Her dad gave me the biggest hug ever, and said, want a shot of tequila? I said, yes, I do. They said, welcome to Mexico. And then it was just they're so welcoming, right? There was no weird energy, no pushback energy. It was beautiful.
They loved him immediately, which I've never really seen. So there's something to that.
So that was just an ease and a delay to that time in Cancun.
Right. Yeah. And of course, from then on, I think we were there for 3 full days. Mm-hmm. And it was just simply, it was amazing. Just every step of the way. So.
Wow, that's so cool. So now I like to jump around in my interviews because we all are so vast and have so many life experiences, but often we focus on small parts.
Yeah.
Well, so let's go back to when you were kids. What did you both, if I had asked you both at 8 years old what you wanted to be when you grew up, what would you have said?
I think I would have said veterinarian. I'm a big animal lover and would love to spend my time around animals as much as I could.
Going off that just for a sec, you had a duck named
I sure did.
Tell me about this duck.
So I got this duck for my 6th birthday. My mom was not a big fan of getting another pet, so she told me I could have a Furby, a jump rope, and something else, like a chalk set or something. She's like, you can have these 3 things, or you can just have one duck. And I chose the duck, of course.
Yeah, your mom was sure she could kind of
Yeah.
bring you off with the 3 things.
And the jump rope. So yeah, I had the duck for 8 years. It was my little precious. It followed me around like I was its mom and attacked anybody that got too close to me. And yeah, it was a great animal, great 8 years, and I'd love to maybe get another one.
Sounds good.
So what is the noise?
Yeah, sorry. They're it's a perfect time to be mowing the lawn outside.
Oh no, nice. I'm just glad
Perfect
to
time.
know where it's coming from.
I told them to show up at 1:15 sharp, and they're here.
That's awesome. Right on schedule.
Yeah, right on schedule. He should be gone pretty soon, though.
So one more follow-up on the duck. What did you learn from your duck about life?
What did I learn from the duck about life? I learned from my duck that, I mean, the meaning of hard work. That duck was a lot to clean up after, more so than any dog or cat I've ever had in my life.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Yes. I'd say that's a very big one. And yeah, it was also one of the first pets that I lost. So that was also a big lesson as well, as kind of having to deal with that natural thing in life.
Yeah, that would be. And it's tough for a kid. Like, what a shock to have love a being and then suddenly it's gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a hard lesson for us all to learn. But.
Yeah. How about you, Sergio? At 8 years old, what do you want to do?
At 8 years old, I wanted to be everything and anything. I wanted to ride bulls. I wanted to ride motorcycles. I wanted to be in the NBA. I was a big basketball player. I wanted to play soccer all my life. I just want to do it all. I was never inside. I was always outside, riding my bike, building ramps. We literally built ramps that had like a big bonfire in the middle and jump over the fire. And yeah, I love doing all the like crazy stunt stuff like that. I did a lot of rollerblading, so I wanted to be a skater. That was a big thing in the late 90s, to kind of be a skater, rollerblader. So yeah, I couldn't pinpoint one thing. I wanted to do it all.
Did you ever ride a bull?
No, that was one thing that a lot of my buddies did. Being from New Mexico on the outskirts of Albuquerque, I had a lot of friends whose family owned, farms and cattle, and a few of my buddies throughout middle school and high school rode bulls, and I told my dad I wanted to, and he was okay with it, but my mom, she wouldn't have it.
I'm glad it didn't work out.
Yeah. There's just something about I really do enjoy watching that sport, because it's man against beast, but in a sort of a beautiful way in my mind. I don't know. A lot of people won't agree with me on that topic, but it just, there's something about a beast just trying to just swing his way and have that guy fly and get the hell off of him.
Gosh.
I
can't imagine what that would be like in the moment, dude.
Right.
Well,
there's just so much coordination. There's so much, you have to just be strong in here and physically, right? I mean, so anyway, no, I did not ever get to ride a bull. Darn it. It's never too late, though.
Break
I'm an
your
adult
hand.
now. Oh, man. How about you?
So I didn't realize you two have a intersection of interest in terms of soccer.
Yeah. We basically both played all our lives. I mean, she played longer than I did in college, all the way up to college. Put herself through school with that, right?
Yeah, got some scholarship money.
It's awesome.
What was it like playing soccer on a collegiate level?
It was an amazing experience. It was, I mean, I'm a very competitive person, and so there's really nothing else like it. The rain coming down on the field and the lights in the night and getting to travel and play other teams. It was a really good experience.
What did you learn about life from playing soccer?
Definitely hard work, determination, how to work out in the gym, teamwork, and collaborating with other people. And yeah, there was countless lessons that soccer has taught me.
Wow. So Sergio, how did you go from your early interest to becoming an accomplished artist and musician who plays all? Oh, first, like how many gigs do you think you played in your music career so far?
Oh my gosh, how many gigs? Geez. So I've been playing 20 years. I would say very close to, man, over 2,000 for sure. Over 2,000 shows.
You said two thousand with a th 1,000.
Yeah, 2,000. Yeah, because there's there are years where maybe I play 50 to 100 gigs, but there's been some years where I play 200 plus shows a year. So give or take, counting 20 years, 2,000, give or take.
Well, what have you learned from the consistency of playing that much?
Oh, I think I knew you were going to ask that question, and the main thing I've learned from playing that many gigs is, it's actually never going to be perfect. It never
What?
is going to be perfect, right? I mean, there's always going to be something to where maybe a string breaks, maybe it's a little more subtle where your drummer didn't learn the song correctly and misses a part, but then you just skip over and continue the song, and the crowd doesn't realize all that most of the time, but there's never been one gig, one show to where it goes just absolutely perfect from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. So I think a lot of new musicians and people coming up in this industry, they get so frustrated because it didn't go perfectly. But the sooner you realize that it never will, the sooner you're just going to enjoy each gig.
Do you have any advice for us about how to cope when a mistake occurs?
Well, I personally cope with it a couple different ways. A lot of times, if it is obvious to the crowd, sometimes I'll stop the show and point it out and kind of make fun of ourselves and the band. I mean, that's probably a big thing in the speaker world, right? I mean, a lot of times,
For me, it is.
yeah, that's what I mean. So that's one way. Another way to cope with that is, man, it just keep going. That's how life is, right? I mean, anything that happens in life, what are you going to do? Stop living because somebody, I don't know, cuts you off? No, you just keep going.
Mm.
It's pretty simple, actually.
How about in collegiate soccer, Peyton? I mean, are there ever mistakes in a soccer game, or is it all perfect?
Oh no, there's plenty of mistakes to be made in that 90 minutes. Yeah, I mean, and as far as recovering from those mistakes, it's just about, because I mean, it's a lot the same as with music. Like, it's your bandmates are like your team, and
Mm.
you just need to get regrouped with those people and get back on the same track with each other and just keep on moving, just like you said.
Mhm.
In both these cases, it takes something takes a sense of perseverance to keep moving, or is perseverance, or what word would you use for the thing that keeps you moving through a soccer game, or like a musical performance?
Well, I don't even look at it as perseverance. I think perseverance is something that you look at kind of when you're not in those moments. But when you are in those moments, it's simply, for me at least, a subconscious thought of like, okay, well, what else is there to do?
Mm.
No, it's you just move forward. It's almost like, a perfect example is when a baby is learning how to walk, they fall, hundreds of times, but they don't think like, well, I guess I'm never walking in my life. They're not really, they're not thinking perseverance. They're just thinking, "Oh, okay, well, oh, and then I take my first steps, cool. And then just keep moving.
Mm.
So they're not thinking perseverance, but that's a perfect example, I think, of just you keep going.
We can learn a lot from little kids
Oh my gosh,
doing.
that's a whole different conversation. We can learn how to love, how to laugh, how to create. I mean, I think Picasso said it, but he says that in our childhood, we want to learn how to become adults, but when we become adults, we need to learn how to become children.
Mm.
And
A great quote.
as creatives, I think there's a big sense of that.
Absolutely.
Peyton, did you have any coaches who told you anything great about recovering from mistakes, or continuing on after a mistake in a game?
Hmm. No, nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I did have a coach that loved to quote Vince Lombardi. I can't think of any quotes from him right now, but there's some great ones in there. Yeah, you kind of got me stumped on that one.
You give me
Usually they
curious.
just yell.
Right?
What?
Usually they just yell.
They're just yelling at the team.
Just get out there. What are you doing?
Awesome.
And maybe that's sometimes what is needed too.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like not everybody, but I feel like I'm a person that reacts better to that kind of direction, because I'm a people pleaser. I want to make my coach happy, and sometimes that is what is needed. Definitely.
So how did you go from wanting to be a veterinarian to getting into graphic design?
So just as time went on, I saw a lot of my friends changing their majors and spending 6, 7, 8 years in college, and as I went through college, I did well, but I knew that I didn't want to be in there for that amount of time. So I kind of went a more general route. I did a business administration degree, and the college that I ended up going to, Western Oregon University, they make you choose a minor there. and I decided to do visual communication design for that, and just ended up falling in love with it through the classes there, and landed a job in that right out of college, and just been growing in that field ever since.
What do you love about being a graphic designer?
I love, well, number one, that I get to be creative. It doesn't feel like a job when you love to be creative and you love doing something like that. And I love that it's not only you're creating something pretty and something that's artistic, but design is also, you're trying to convey a message and you're trying to solve a problem. So it's a little more of a layer of complexity on top of that creativity, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, and then it's so useful. I mean, you're literally helping someone else get the dream to move forward, and helping the customers align with a dream. It's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just like your graphic artist does such a great job with what's on the screen that everybody's viewing right now. It's just so cool. It's you know, did he design your logo, the awkwardly awesome?
Yeah. Chris Taylor, he's he's amazing. We have a wonderful collaboration.
Yeah, I love that logo. It's awesome.
It's so
Actually, awkwardly awesome, to be technical.
Oh man, it is awesomely awesome.
Tim, who is an amazing friend in Pennsylvania, says hi, and he.
Oh yeah, we see it. Tim
Hi,
Sohn,
Tim.
I think it is, huh? Hi, friend.
He's a extraordinary podcaster, and just an amazing person, and he gives a shout out to Chris Taylor too.
Yep, I see that. Right on.
That's awesome.
So Sergio, I mean, you have enough with being a musician. I mean, a lot of people would say you have enough. You're busy. You're doing hundreds of shows a year. So like, how did you go from that to being like, hey, I want to be a musician and I want to be an artist?
Well, it started back in 2010 when I worked for the Gemological Institute as a gemologist in Carlsbad.
So I mean, I know this, but you can't just drop I worked for the Gemological Institute without talking about it a little bit. So how did you come to be doing gems?
Long story short, when I moved from Albuquerque to California, I first ended up in Hollywood, and Hollywood was just too crazy. I come from a small town. I just did not like the energy there at that point.
So Albuquerque, small town.
Yeah, straight to West Hollywood. Literally had an apartment on Sunset Strip where everything's happening. It was talk about culture shock. At 20 years old, you think you know everything. You're telling your parents, "Oh, I'm leaving home. I'm going to move to Hollywood," and that was. I mean, it was great. I learned very, very, very quick. I learned several things about life and about decisions and about research. But no, I moved to San Diego and was working for AT&T. And as I was working for AT&T, I had a couple resumes out there on the internet, and got a call, said, "Hey, are you interested in diamonds and precious stones?" And in my head, I'm like, sounds better than cell phones. So I interviewed, and they just sit you down and put you in front of a microscope, because we'd be studying literally thousands of diamonds and stones. And I got the job from 2007 to 2011. But back
Oh.
up to 2010, I knew I was going to leave the company, and basically just asked myself, like, what can I do that's still creative, and that can help people, right? And so I just thought of painting, and I just literally started. There was a pen like on the desk, like as you see here, and I just started drawing on a piece of mail, and I was like, that's pretty good. And then I bought paints and brushes and canvas, and literally started by painting circles and hearts like a child, quite literally like what a child would paint, just so I can understand the relationship between the tools. And fast forward to 11 years later, here we are. I mean, traveling the world doing live paintings and outfitting, you name it, restaurants and commercial buildings and private homes and offices, studios, with some artwork. And doing a lot of charity work. In 2021, so last year, almost 100,000 raised.
Almost 100,000.
Yeah, it was like 89,000. Yeah. So again, get to be creative. I still get to perform, since I turned painting into a performing art as well, doing live painting. And just helping people and creating awesomeness.
Yeah, it was so fun once I was speaking at the downtown library, and you did just this great painting of me.
Yeah, Portrait of a Legend. That's Jason W. Freeman.
And then afterwards, we went to In-N-Out.
That's right.
Oh yeah, where was my invite?
Oh, I know. She loves In-N-Out.
That's our date night.
Pretty much. She'd rather go to In-N-Out than a fancy restaurant. That's no joke.
And if we get a quarter or a quad.
And a milkshake.
Milkshake's necessary.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
No, I know. I miss you being here in California. That way, because you don't have In-N-Out there, right?
No, not at all.
Oh. Do you have White Castle?
No.
No, not even White Castle. Do you have McDonald's at least?
Oh yeah. we have something called Culver's, which I like a lot.
Burger joint?
Yeah. Is a chain. Is good.
Nice.
Do you have Taco John's in Idaho, Peyton?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm a big Taco John's
I
fan.
love Taco John's.
Potato Lays. Shout out to Potato Lays.
Yep, I gotta take him there.
Never even heard of it.
Open his eyes to Taco John World.
Never even heard of it.
So Sergio, were you gigging while you were at the Gemological Institute?
I was, yeah. I was gigging quite a bit. Probably, about 150 gigs per year, and with the day job. So oftentimes I would get off around 3:30, and during the week, gigs call for maybe like a 6 p.m., 7 p.m. start time. And then weekends, we're just all over the place. Sometimes I'd have 2 gigs in a day, maybe on Saturday afternoon gig from 2 to 5, and then a night gig from 9 to midnight. So it was, it was a rat race for sure.
So you both are obviously very active people, very accomplished. What would you say to people who have bigger dreams of doing more with their lives, but who are like, I don't have the energy to do all that?
What do you say, babe? You want to chime in?
You go first.
Okay. Well, first of all, people, I don't believe when people say I don't have energy, because energy is created, right? They can say, oh, I don't have energy to go to the gym, or I don't have energy to start my taxes right now. But if I said, I'm going to give you $1 million right now if you have the energy to do your taxes by tonight, they'll be like, oh, $1 million, done. Right? So energy's created. Energy's created. People think, oh, I don't have enough energy for A, B, and C. It's like, well, it's not important to you right now at this moment. And either figure out a way or priorities. That's all it is.
So Peyton, why was soccer important enough to you to expend all that energy?
I had played it since I was 5 years old, and it just seeing how happy it made my parents, and I just loved. We both loved performing in different ways. It was kind of like a performance, and having something, a goal to work towards, is very important in life in general. And yeah, it just always was a very, very big central role to my life. And the community that you build with your teammates is also a very big piece of it. And yeah, it just really, really taught me a lot.
Well, do you miss playing at a collegiate level?
Yeah, I really do. I tried doing, some co-ed leagues that are kind of a little bit more casual, and it's just really not, it's a good workout, but it's really not the same kind of playing at that competitive level. So yeah, I do miss it quite a bit.
So Sergio,
Yes, sir.
how have you found the energy to play 2,000 gigs?
Because I know when I get there to a gig, there are so many people waiting to hear just good music and feel the energy of music. Everybody vibrates with music. It's the universal language. So I know that it's just going to bring a lot of people joy. And obviously, just playing music, whether I'm sitting here in my living room playing guitar or playing in front of an audience, it brings me joy as well. And so that's just that. It's pretty easy to get off the couch when you're going to go and get applauded every 3 to 5 minutes after playing each song. There's not a lot of jobs that, if you have a day job and you're sitting and you send an awesome email, sounds great, everything, you just felt so confident, and you hit enter, there's no applause, right?
Good point.
Like, it makes you feel good. But my point is, it's being a musician and a performing artist. When you're done with the song or done with the painting, people say, wow, right? And it's a great feeling. It's nothing like it.
Well, that's amazing. Peyton, where have you channeled all that energy you put into collegiate? You put into playing soccer.
I would say I've actually gotten a raise within my company to a management position. So a lot of my energy is going into work, and a lot of it into the gym. We still lift together all the time, and it's still a very important piece of our lives. And he seems to have a lot more energy than me, so I don't have an issue with the story.
But I also take naps.
He does take a lot of naps. Lots of naps.
Did you like lifting before you met Sergio? Or?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. soccer was definitely something that got me into lifting, and then I would do CrossFit to stay in shape for soccer, and that taught me a lot. So
Have you done CrossFit yet, Sergio?
I can't say that I like officially have gone to like a CrossFit gym and done one of their how do you call it, rounds, or what do you call it?
a WOD.
A WOD. The workout of the day. That's what WOD stands for.
Oh. I need another acronym. Oh, I know.
Right. So
Oh,
no,
that's
I've
not
never
good.
done a WOD before. I don't know. I just really like the bodybuilding style of kind of slower movements and hypertrophy training. It's not a how fast can you do these burpees and pull-ups. It's more meditative for me, I think. So I don't really care to do CrossFit, but I have a lot of friends who do it and they just look great. They feel great. So not bagging on it by any means.
But you found something you loved and that you'll do consistently.
Right. Yeah. But if somebody called me up right now and said, "Hey, let's do a WOD tomorrow," I'll be like, "Okay."
Oh.
He doesn't like that.
I mean, CrossFit sounds fun and challenging, but that acronym does. Dude.
The best.
So when I visit, let's do a WOD together, man. It's just a workout of the day.
Nice.
We can go to a taco place and we can walk there. That's our
Yeah. Two taco Johns.
Yeah, that's our workout of the day.
So what would you tell couples about keeping good energy in a romantic relationship?
If you do what you did at the beginning, there will be no end.
If you do what you did at the beginning, there'll be no end.
Right.
What would you add to that, Peyton?
Mine would be not as simple as that, but mine would be just that love is about finding compromise with that other person. And I see a lot of people that like bicker about the smallest things, and it's really about choosing, like, is that really worth fighting about? Is that worth bringing up? Is that a healthy thing that I want to bring into our environment together? And it's all about the ebb and flow of that. See,
as I drink her coffee, because I finished mine, and now I'm drinking her coffee, and I know she's gonna be okay with that.
That's okay with me.
And if she gets mad, I'll be like, "Babe, let me go make you another one." Yeah. No, but we give each other quite a bit of space, as far as if I'm in a little tiff or she's in a little tiff for whatever reason. We can't all have amazing, spectacular days to where we feel, just incredible. We just give each other space, and it's all good. And oftentimes I'll go downstairs and go in the studio and paint and just kind of leave her alone. But it's good for both of us. It doesn't matter who's in a tiff. Like, I have my own space downstairs. She has the house upstairs, and or we'll go to gym at separate times instead of going together, stuff like that. So.
So there's ways of being together and then having times where you do your own thing too.
Right. But I think the most important part too is we let each other know that, like, hey, if you need me, I'll be right here. I'm not trying to avoid by any means, or trying to ignore, or trying to get away from you. But it's like, hey, we're gonna do our own things, but just I'll be over here if you need me, right? So.
And that's a big key right there.
Big time. big time. Yeah, because no one wants to feel like they're being left, right, or left to deal with their own stuff. Everybody wants to know that you got their back, whether it's this kind of relationship, whether it's your brother, your sister, your uncle. Everybody just yearns for that. Know that I got your back, you got my back. Things are great. There was actually a study on that where they took these young children, and I'm pretty much paraphrasing, but they're young kids, let's just say 7 years old, and they jotted down what's important to them at that age. And then every decade, they rounded up these children. There's like, I think 15 of them or something. And at the end of their life, of course, some passed away early, this and that. But at the end of their life, basically, the most important thing to every single one of them was to know that the people they love have their back and that they have their, so that's always hit me. It's always been a part of like how I run things in my life, and just letting the people I love know that, hey, I got your back no matter what. And I know she has mine. Right.
And as powerful. Another part of being a couple is like you bring different interests into the relationship. Like, is there an example, Sergio, of something you weren't interested in before you started going out with Peyton, and that Peyton really got you into?
Like, well, I still haven't gotten into scary movies quite yet. But yeah, I think naturally, you inspire one another to, maybe do things that you've never really thought of doing or don't particularly want to do. But hey, it's kind of nice to go in each other's world and see how it is, right?
Well, I bet that's really cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Peyton? Is there anything that Sergio has introduced you to that you're like, wow, that's awesome?
A million friends.
A million friends. Sergio has a lot of friends, and definitely live music. Like my parents have always loved live music, and we've always gone to shows and stuff. But like just to be so kind of enveloped in it, and like being able to go backstage and like meet people, and just I've really, really, really grown to enjoy it a lot more than I did before. And definitely painting. I painted a little bit before we met, just, in a kind of creative sense, but we like painting together, and we do share a lot of the same interests. We'll go out and kick a soccer ball together and random things.
Yep. Camping. We've been camping quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I won't say quite a bit, but we enjoy camping. It's nice to all the hustle and bustle of what I do. And then she works from home. So it's just really nice to get the heck out and be in nature and sit by a fire. And that's powerful.
And he's taught me a couple songs on the guitar too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
One.
Yeah.
Speaking of painting, who painted the picture behind you?
Both of us.
Yeah,
that was.
Here, watch. I'll move it back so you can take a better.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. So you were telling me the story of this painting before you got on, but can you tell everyone how this beautiful piece came to be?
Yeah, it was Peyton had it was kind of like a generic painting that you got from.
Yeah, like just a generic kind of cheap painting that you can get from Ross. And I had it for like 5-6 years. It was just some flowers, and I just wanted something new. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to throw away a 4-foot by 4-foot canvas when I have an artist boyfriend. So yeah, after we bought our house, we celebrated by creating this beautiful piece to decorate it with.
And she actually didn't like it at first.
I didn't like it at first.
She's like, and then basically like the next day, she's like, wow, that's really pretty. And everybody that comes in our home, they'd say, wow, where did you get that painting? Because it's not really like a style that I do. And, you know, we were just kind of just vibing with each other in the garage. And we even have a time-lapse video from start to finish.
Wow.
Of it being created. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
But yeah, people dig it. People really dig it. It was a fun piece.
And I'll need to have something that both of you created in your house.
Right. And that's the cool thing about art, right? I mean, this is literally a legacy that we can leave with our children and our children's children and beyond, right? A painting can last for, you know, several lifetimes.
We're getting towards the end here, but thanks for triggering me with art. Oh my gosh, that's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But will you tell about the art pieces you are doing for the veterans?
Yeah. So I just actually ordered 10 canvas prints. You know, a lot of times I'm unavailable to do these charity events because I'm already booked and have other commitments. And but I truly just want to be a part of just every single one I can be a part of, right? So in order to do that, I basically ordered these prints. That way, if I don't have time to do an actual painting, I can donate one of these prints, and I actually left a signature off. That way it actually has my signature, you know, which brings more value to the piece. But yeah, any veteran charities, charities dealing with military, we're big supporters of our men and women who, you know, protect this country and protect our freedom. And yeah, any of your viewers, just please contact me, and I'd be happy to donate one of these pieces in order to support our troops.
Well, that's so generous and just a beautiful way of being generous and paying goodness forward, which I know you both are so much about. And then this is a perfect closing before I get is SergioFineArts.com.
Yeah, so sergiosfineart.com, and my music website is sergiogutierrezmusic.com. And then Peyton has a graphic arts website, peytonmoon.com.
Yep, just peytonmoon.com, Peyton with an E.
So I'm not going to wait all that out because we'll be here for a while. But so will you please repeat those?
Yeah, sure. So my art website is sergiosfineart.com.
Sergio's with a S.
Sergio's, yeah, plural. sergiosfineart.com. The music site is sergiogutierrezmusic.com. And her graphic site is peytonmoon.com.
And you might have to say how you spell your last name.
Gutierrez.
Double R.
And last question, Perfect Valentine's. So I was looking on your Facebook, and you did a like this couples or the woman saying you just saying I love you, and you made a piece out of that. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, of course. You know, simply somebody can send either a voicemail from their loved one or say it into the phone and send me that sound bite. And what I do is I plug it into my, my computer and essentially make a sound bite of it. And then I paint that sound bite onto canvas. And then in parentheses up top, I put the quote of whatever is being said. At the bottom, I basically put the couple's names. So I just sent one out today to Los Angeles. So yeah, it's really fun. It's unique. It's interesting. I mean, you could even have your kids say something into the phone and send it, and I just make a soundbite painting out of that. I mean, it's endless. A dog, if you like your dog's bark, you just send simply a message to me that has your dog barking, and I turn that into soundbite and then paint the soundbite.
That's such a neat idea, and so
yeah, it's really fun, and it works not only for Valentine's Day, but any sort of anniversary, any birthday, really any opportunity you have to give a unique gift. This is a perfect unique gift for the ones you love.
beautiful. So Valentine's Day is next week. So I mean, you two are engaged, and I just told you two things right there. I mean, none of that was news, but so what's your both of your final thoughts to people on celebrating Valentine's Day?
Any thoughts?
Just spend it with your Valentine, the one you love, and make sure you tell them that you love them, and just
yeah. And I think, I mean, my first thought is, why do certain things on a certain day, right? Make Valentine's Day maybe once a month or whatever that looks like to you guys. I don't think it should just be a one-off thing each year. So
he always says that.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day every day.
It's Valentine's Day every day.
Well, thank you both so much for being on. Thanks for living inspiring lives. And
thank you, Jason. We really appreciate it, man. It's so good. It's always a pleasure just to chat with you, man. And we support you and we follow you and just appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I get to do this every week. Aren't they so inspiring? Oh, it's just so cool. I urge you to have conversations with the people in your life, like both the people closest to you and the people you know more casually, and start asking questions that will inspire them to tell stories and learn things about people, explore their lives, and let them explore yours. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you next week when I have another inspiring guest.